Hello and welcome to ChickenChunks. Now this is a mod that only actually introduces one new item. Now that item is a chunk loader, and that is the item. If we look at the recipe for it, you can see it's a fairly simple recipe. It's just an ender pearl, it's 5 gold ingots and an enchantment table. And the great thing about this is that it actually enables us to keep a world loaded. So if we've got several machines running, for instance, if you watch my forestry, the first episode of that, you'll notice that the farm took quite a long time to actually to produce the sand. So if, for instance, if that's going to last for an hour or 2 hours, I might want to keep the area chunk loaded while I'm off doing something else in a different region of the world. So let's so once we've crafted it, you can see it's a very simple recipe, so we won't go through that. So say I wanted to keep this area loaded. Say say I had this going, and I had and I wanted to fill it up with that. So say I just had this going, and I wanted to keep this chunk loaded. Say this was a massive area, obviously it needs to use a bit of, so this was like a huge area, like I think the biggest you get in is 64 by 64. But I wanted to keep it going. I didn't want to just stand around and watch it all day, which is is a fairly reasonable thing. So what I might want to do, I might want to look into find the sort of center of the area, and then I would want to place down one of these chunk loaders. So there it is, and as you can see, it's got this it's quite hard to tell how many sides that's got when it's swirling around like that. It's nice, and it's a very nice graphic actually. I'm not sure what it looks like on a normal texture pack, but what we can see is you've got your name on the right hand side, you've got radius, and then so let's try one chunk, and one chunk I believe is 16 by 16 blocks. So if we do this show lasers thing, what we can do is when we go out of it, we can actually see how much is actually getting loaded. It goes all the way up to the sky, and we can see. So let's walk along the. So this must be about. I wonder how many blocks away that is actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and how many blocks away on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's basically going to be 16 in all the directions. So this would not actually be enough. Let's make it a bit bigger because we can't actually see quite what's going on yet. So we'll do, and you can see that changes up to 9 chunks. So that's going to be a much larger area. Well, I suppose it's going to be one. Yeah, it's because it goes by 1 by 1 and then 3 by 3. Interesting. So that is going much further. So if it's 9, then what's that? 16 by 9. That's 144. Doesn't appear to be that big. But I suppose, in a sense, because it's doing all the ones up to the sky as well. Let me see how high it actually goes. I wonder if it goes all the way to the top. Let's see if we can still see these lasers. Okay. Let's go all the way up. They've gone. And they disappear right about there, 128. Okay. Interesting. So let's see when they disappear on the one chunk. And we can also change the shape from square, circle, and we can also do a line on the X or Z axis. Alright, we'll get to that in a second. Let me stick to square. Let's see how far we're going to go. Right, same. So it goes all the way up to 128. And now the obvious question is, how far down does it go? So let's find a spot where it's going to pass through. Passes through right here. So let's see how far. Yeah, I can still see it. Still there. There's crystal. Still here. I wonder if it stops at 16. That'd be interesting. See if it does. 32 maybe? Still there. It's going to stop at 16, isn't it? No. Okay, I should be careful here because I'm about to fall off the edge of the world. So basically, it's going to go all the way from 0 to 128. Or it possibly be 1 to 128. I've got to look there. I really don't want to fall off the edge of the world. Okay. I think that's going to 0. Okay, yeah, it definitely was going to 0. So 0, possibly 0 to 127, most likely. Okay, so basically, should fill that hole up. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, we can also do various different shapes. So we'll get 1, 2. So that's interesting. It goes. So this is 1 squared. This is 3 squared. This is 5, 7 squared, 9, 11, 13. Okay. You can see we can go all the way up to 361 chunks, and that is absolutely huge. So you could really have. That's already going to that island. So it's loading a lot of chunks. So okay, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, let's just put it down again. Okay, it doesn't seem to matter where you put it in the world. You could put it literally in the ground and it wouldn't make any difference. Maybe you can't actually. Put it here. Oh no, I didn't have show lasers on. Yeah. Let's put it back in the ground. Just check. This is not going to make any difference. Okay, just put a block on top of it. No, you can put it straight in the ground. Okay. So let's go back to 1 chunk again. Let's try a circle. Now this is interesting actually, because what you can do with this is you can actually you can make a circle literally just by following the lines as they go. So there's no need for the circle tool, which a lot of people use to construct stuff. So that's another very useful building function, and could possibly be incorporated with Buildcraft as well, with some of the we created here. Must have run out of blocks. So there's that. Line X. Let's see how that looks. Let's try line Z. This shouldn't make much difference because they're just because it's not, Y would be the only one that looks different, I would suppose. So line Z, so so here's the Z-axis here. What? Okay, so that makes sense. That's just along the Z-axis. When we go forward, that's the Z-axis, and then if we change it to the X-axis, let's just try that briefly. It should just be, this is the X-axis, right? Yeah. So that's a straight line. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to this mod, but like I say, it's quite a lot, you know, because it actually lets you, you know, run machines, you know, run projects, you know, like big projects like quarries and sort of forestry farms and stuff like that. Probably take a while to do like that. So yeah, that's about all for now.